Hey, you guys, how's it going? It's Ashley Cunningham, and I am so excited to be talking to you guys tonight about my recent experience going through Angelic Reiki training 1 and 2, levels 1 and 2. I am just beginning on this journey, so I may not have all of the answers for your questions, but I definitely know where to direct you if I need to follow up, so no worries there. And hey guys, I am going to be checking my phone for names. Here we go. Thank you all for joining me. So I'm really excited to talk about this. Michelle, Kristen, Phyllis, Tenzin, Amy, Serena, thank you guys for joining me. And I'm really, really stoked because a lot of you guys have heard since, let's see, about when was the course? So at the end of January, I had booked my Angelic Reiki training with Compass Rose. It's a company out of Spokane Valley, Washington. And the two ladies who run Compass Rose, Stacia and Sandy, are phenomenal. They are amazing and really, really awesome. And actually, what I'm going to do here, oh, I don't know how I can post a link. What I'm going to do at the end of this, I'll come back into the video on the group wall, and I'll include their link. So if you guys are interested in checking them out, you'll have their website right there. But yeah, they are amazing. And the training was 2.5 days. So I showed up on Friday, and if you go and check out my Instagram page, I have some pictures, and I think I posted them on my Facebook profile as well. I have some cool pictures of me driving up to Spokane Valley, and just some pictures of my experience. It was really interesting because I'd never driven that far before by myself, so it was kind of like a leap of faith almost, 7.5 hours from where I live all the way up to Spokane Valley. And so that was really, really interesting to just go there and like show up and make it happen. So it was cool. And the training, 2.5 days of training, was completely blissful. It was so amazing. The content in and of itself, you know, Angelic Reiki, Reiki overall, there's various types of Reiki, but Reiki is an energy healing modality, and Angelic Reiki is a type of energy healing, and it's just super awesome. I personally gravitated towards Angelic Reiki because I'd researched Reiki for a while. I am very, I'm an empath, and I felt like I could give back and help with people and their energy and healing, whatever I could help them with. And Angelic Reiki really stood out to me because the way Angelic Reiki works is you are attuned to the angelic kingdom, and you are basically assigned a healing angel that is with you forevermore. And it's really great because I have a really awesome Reiki angel that was assigned to me, and you get the symbols and like the attunements kind of all over the course of that weekend. And then I'm assuming there's some more coming in the 3-4. But basically, you're given the symbols. You are Angelic Reiki from that moment forward. You don't need to know and draw signs. You don't need to go around. I'm not really familiar with Usui Reiki, but I guess the way they were describing it, you have to like go around the table and kind of do different things for different areas of the body, and drawing symbols and stuff. And that kind of, from the description of what Usui Reiki is like, it seems like it's very in the head. I know I would have a really hard time remembering all the symbols and remembering what comes when and how that can help the person. And so doing Angelic Reiki, you're basically given the symbols, whether you see them or know how to draw them or not. They are in you, and you basically, as an Angelic Reiki healer, are holding space for angels and other ascended masters and galactic beings to step forward. Archangels, ascended masters, galactic beings, and the healing Reiki healing angels to step forward and do whatever it is that they need to do for the individual. So to me, that was a big draw, because I get to work with angels and other beings like galactics. You guys know that I'm a really big fan of galactic beings, and as well as ascended masters that resonate with me, and archangels. So it's really like you get to work with a dream team, and it's not necessarily you driving anything, you're just helping to facilitate. And I really enjoy that, and it's super, super cool. So basically, I see a few questions here, so I'm gonna catch up on those. Sorry, I just kind of ran with that. But let's see here. Tenzin is asking, any preparation that needs to take place prior to Angelic Reiki training? Tenzin, I didn't really do anything specific. I just made sure I drank a lot of water, and made sure I was eating pretty good versus, especially on the road, I was trying to make sure I really ate good food. I didn't stop at like fast food or anything. I had nutrition bars and different things that kind of were going to help with my energy levels. So I don't think you're going to have as long of a drive, so it wouldn't be like as draining, but definitely drink a lot of water. Also wear comfortable clothes. I think that probably goes without saying for like any sort of Reiki training. Just be really comfortable and be prepared to reflect. That was a really cool element of the training. There was a lot of meditation and a lot of visualizations that took place that really helped me connect with how Reiki is facilitated with your energy. And it's a lot like channeling. It's a lot of visualizations in your head. You have to quiet your mind. So definitely, if it's difficult for you to quiet your mind, maybe upping the practice so that way you can kind of be prepared to be in a state of stillness and allow things to come forward as they need to. So that's definitely something I would do if you were preparing to go into Angelic Reiki training, or I guess any sort of training that deals with something like this kind of material. And yeah, I think that would be the core of it that I would recommend. I see another question. Michelle asks, what are some of the things you are experiencing since your classes? Great question. It's been amazing. So when you learn Angelic Reiki, you also learn how to do Reiki on yourself. So I've been doing self Reiki healings every day, and I love it. It's definitely going to be a part of my core spiritual practice. It makes me just totally relax, and I feel so much lighter, and I didn't really feel too heavy in my vibrational frequency before the course, but before we got attuned, there was a lot of clearing and cleansing that took place, and there was just a lot of like old past life stuff that came up. That was really interesting. And I see another question that I might go into more depth on that piece to answer. But a lot of stuff got cleared out that I wasn't really aware of. And then just having that practice in your daily, and it only takes like 10 minutes. It's not even very long. But I just feel like I was really needing some sort of practice to kind of bring me back to center. Even though I meditate quite a bit throughout the day, and I'm calling back my energy, as my empathic self often sends a lot of energy out to others. I didn't realize that I needed something like that, but the self-healing, oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite things to do for sure. And yeah, also, so, you know, I have 2 guardian angels, and during this process, I was assigned a healing angel, and his name is Henry. And as soon as he stepped forward, he was like really direct and kind of right in my face. And I really appreciate, and he's in my ear right now, I really appreciate that strong energy. He kind of feels like a very strong healer, like a surgeon guy, like in the hospital. I don't know how else to describe him, but he is really, really super cool. And he comes in and helps me to facilitate, and then he does healing work on the client. And it's just mind-blowing to me that now I have a healing angel that's with me all the time. And so when I call and do my own self Reiki healings, he's the one that's helping me every day. And it's just really beautiful. And I'm super pumped to have another angel that I can turn to and seek guidance from and rely on this path of mine. So I think that's one of my favorite elements so far in this whole Angelic Reiki experience. And I really, really am so grateful. And I just love the fact that as you move forward in Angelic Reiki, you get to have a relationship with an angel that's just always there for you. And it's so beautiful. I'm catching up on questions here. So, okay, so since the class, I've been experiencing a lot of peace and my mood has just been so much more, not stable, I would say, but just like really high vibe. And even when I'm at work, I actually learned a really cool clearing technique using Angelic Reiki practices to like prepare a space for high vibrational frequency work. And so I do that at work. So I send that energy ahead to my full-time workspace. And I've really felt a difference in my office and in the building as a whole. So that way, by the end of the day, I'm not even as drained as I normally am. So that's been pretty great. And I came back straight from my Angelic Reiki training into an audit at our office that I was kind of facilitating. So like that can be a high stress situation, right? Well, I wasn't feeling the stress. Things have just been like flowing, and it's just been really, really awesome as like a not coping mechanism, but like a technique to keep my frequency up and to, you know, bring in some really positive, high vibrational energy into a space that's not always high vibrational. So that's been pretty awesome. I really, really enjoy that. And I've also been with the energy that's coming in right now since Monday. It's been crazy because I do the self Reiki healings at night as I'm going to sleep. I've been having some pretty crazy dreams, a lot of intense energy coming in that I feel is directly as a result from the Reiki. Just opening up my channels even more, opening up my chakras, clearing things out. I've become, I think, a little bit more sensitive. So that's been pretty cool to see how my regular channeling abilities have changed as well. So I can keep going on with that, but I see some more questions here. So Eileen is asking, will you get to a level to give an Angelic Reiki class? Yes, Eileen, that's kind of my long-term plan. We're going to see how Angelic Reiki 3-4 goes. I'm really interested in helping others to learn this amazing technique. And so I'm looking at what that's going to take to set up courses or like in-person classes where I'm at in Oregon. And so, yeah, just I think that's going to be part of my long-term plan. I really like the way Compass Rose teaches Angelic Reiki. It's a little different than the I'm totally blanking on I think it's the International Angelic Reiki Association. It's a little different than their certificate program. They do the 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's standard. But at the final level, you don't right away go into teaching others. They have kind of a mentorship program. And I don't have a ton of details on what that looks like right now. They're making some changes and creating a website and really expanding that program. But I really like that they're building in time for mentorship at Compass Rose. So they're able to like help you develop your skills more, and then you can go into teaching as you get to a certain level of practice. And so I think I prefer that. I wouldn't want to just go to the 3-4 and be like, oh, I'm a master and I can teach, however, whoever wants to come. Like, I want to get some healing hours under my belt and get a lot more practice and a lot more experience before I could lead someone comfortably into being attuned and getting the trainings and moving forward and helping others with healing. So that's definitely long-term plans for me, but we'll see how that goes. And again, I will be including Compass Rose's website. It's called changeyourcompass.com. And I'll include a link under this video after I get off here. But they're the real deal. And one thing that I want to call out, as you are learning new things, as maybe you're interested in learning Angelic Reiki, or maybe you're interested in learning a different type of healing or mediumship or some other spiritual modality, it's really important to have discernment. And one thing that really stood out to me as I was getting this Angelic Reiki training, it was just confirming and reaffirming things that I've channeled for myself, I've channeled for you guys, for others in readings, as well as I've learned through Kristen Davies' mediumship classes. And that for me really was a really important factor, because I knew in that moment, in having those experiences, learning this material, that this is the right path for me. This is something that is definitely meant for me to, enjoy and explore and learn and share with others. So I felt like it was just a really big confirming moment, and using discernment, asking, okay, does this sit with me? Does this confirm how I feel and how I've experienced things in the past, as well as what am I feeling right now? Checking your inner gut instinct, does this feel good? Does it not feel good? Does this resonate with you? And so the whole time I was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, yes, like this felt so good. And that's one reason why I'm just so excited to share this information with you guys, is because it really confirmed I'm listening, I'm getting the guidance that I need, and I'm right where I need to be, and I'm going in the direction that my path is leading me down, and it's really meant for me. So that's my experience, and that's for me. It may not be for everyone else. You may go into an angelic Reiki training somewhere, and it just may not mesh with how you want to move forward, and that's okay. That's pretty cool. So yeah, definitely listening to your own body and listening to your own internal guidance system is really important when learning something new like this. And yeah, I was just blown away, and it was just really exciting because it's just really amazing, and I loved it so much. So I think I was going somewhere else with that at the end, but yeah, that's definitely how I kind of came away with it feeling like, yes, I'm being guided on the right path, and I really enjoy that. Amanda is asking, what's the coolest new thing you've learned so far? Oh, coolest new thing. I honestly, when I first went into Angelic Reiki, I didn't know that Angelic Reiki also incorporates galactic beings. And when I was in the training, that's when I learned that Sandy, she at Compass Rose, she works a lot with the galactic beings, and she loves them. Their energy is very different than the angels and archangels and ascended masters, but they really know their stuff. They are such good healers, and it was just really like I felt before I went into the training that I wanted to work with galactic beings in this way, in a healing way, but I did not know that that was actually incorporated in Angelic Reiki. And so when I learned that, I was just over the moon, so happy. And it was really great because we got to actually connect with some galactic beings. And I've made some fast friends. And I have some galactic beings who I call in to help work with my imbalance of nearsightedness. So I'm hoping that my eyes will improve, and I'll be able to not have to wear glasses. You guys don't see me wear glasses in my videos because I just take them off, but because of, like, the reflections and stuff in the camera. But I really currently have to wear glasses to see a lot of what's going on around me. So I'm hoping that they can help me with my imbalance of nearsightedness and improve my eyesight. And that way I can move forward and not have to have glasses. And I'd be really, really grateful for that. So I'm working with them on that. And I love that so much. And it's just really, really awesome. And also, another few cool things that I've learned is, well, it's not like one specific fact or item or like piece of information, but I really appreciated and loved seeing master healers who are living the life. They're walking the talk, they're in it, they do this like every single day, and that's how they live their life. And I just loved seeing people living their life in this space of healing and just really beautiful energy. And it gave me a lot to think about for my own life and my own path, and how I'm building my life and incorporating my spiritual work into how I live my life. Not only just using Angelic Reiki as maybe my self-healing or helping other people with what they need help with, but also my channeling and all of the other stuff that I do. And so it was very refreshing to see that, as well as really exciting because that gave me just another example. Like Kristen, she's my primary number one example of seeing someone who's living the life as a light worker. Every single day she lives and breathes it, and that's where I want to be. So seeing that and seeing other examples of that was to me one of the really coolest things that I could see and observe and interact with. So I really loved that aspect as well. That's kind of off the topic of Angelic Reiki, but it's, you know, where I want to go and how I want to have my path. You know, I'm doing a lot of different things and I'm very passionate about it, as you guys all know, being in Channeling with Love, or seeing my business page or my YouTube channel. Like, I do this because I love to do this, and it's just a really amazing thing to do, and I have so much fun doing it. It's a lot of work, but I love it. And yeah, it just solidifies my will and want to be all about it, basically. So yeah, I really loved that. Yeah, Faye, it's really amazing that you can heal yourself. And if you're interested in angelic Reiki and it doesn't really fit with maybe the rest of your life or what you want to do as a business, I would still highly, highly recommend, if you resonate with it, to try it out. Go to a training. Definitely the 1-2, I think it would be adequate enough information for you to just take this and run with it and use it for your own self-healing and your own self-care in your own life. Honestly, that's one thing that I think is really interesting when you know, we talk about being a light worker and shining our light. And a lot of us have heard many times part of our life path is to just be ourselves and to shine our light. And how we can help that along is making sure we're taking care of ourselves, providing self-love and care, connecting with beings that will help us in that process, and you know, really taking care of yourself. Even if you like, if you don't want to teach or if you don't want to like do this as a business, I still highly recommend it, because that's allowing you to just be yourself, shine your light, be more comfortable. You're able to like let go of a lot of things in these healing processes, and it just reinforces that, you know, even though you guys may not claim to feel like you're a light worker, or if you don't feel like that resonates with you, you being you is all that the universe, source, love and light, God energy, it can ask of you. So it's really amazing, and that it's definitely really important to take care of yourself and be yourself. And I think this is definitely something that is really awesome to help you do that. So yeah, and I just saw a comment, self-care is a big part of helping others. Definitely. And I wasn't really expecting to take that lesson away as fully as I have from the trainings in 1 and 2, because I was just mainly thinking, I want to help others. You know, I want this to be part of my business, to help step forward in a different way, in a way that's really fun to engage in, and provide a different way of helping, you know, a lot of people that come my way. So I was thinking more of helping others, but this has shown me like this is a brilliant way to help yourself and to really help you realign and take care of yourself to step forward in whatever other way you want to do that in. So it's really awesome. Anita's asking, where are you taking the class? So I'm taking the class from Compass Rose, and their website is changeyourcompass.com, and I will include that link in the video below when I pop out of my, when I'm done with the talking on the video. So I will include the link for you guys so you can follow up if you want to check out the people who I'm learning from. Like I said, they're walking the walk. They know what they're talking about. They live it, breathe it. And for me, that was really important, to find people that have an amazing amount of experience and are really steeped in the information. And their space where you go is just really amazing. And it's like a bubble of love and light. It's so comfortable. and they're really, really kind, and they just have a really great way of sharing the information and working with the material. So I highly recommend them. Of course, you know, they're in Spokane Valley, Washington. So if you can't get out there, you may have to find some other place that teaches angelic Reiki. It has to be on in person. So you can't like learn this online because the attunements and everything have to be done in person. Yeah, definitely check it out. And thank you to Phyllis for sharing the website link. So definitely check that out and click that so that you can go and check out their website. Yeah, Tina, when learning anything new, make sure it resonates for sure. It's really important. Oh, thank you, Paul. Yeah, self-care is a really big part of helping others for sure. Phyllis is asking, do you have any recommendations for looking for angelic Reiki courses when I'm looking in my own area? Like, are there International Angelic Reiki or USA, so on? I guess which association Compass is affiliated with. So yeah, you can go onto the Angelic Reiki Association website, and there are a lot of different teachers across the US and Canada, and I think you can actually filter it around all over the world. I, of course, only went to the USA, so I don't really know about, like, say, Europe or South America or Asia or Africa, but in the USA and Canada, there was a lot of people who are teaching, and I tried to book with another person initially who is outside of Seattle because it was either her or Compass Rose that was the closest to me because I'm in Oregon, and there's no one in Oregon right now that teaches this material. So it was difficult to find someone, but it was definitely worthwhile to go through and look for a person that resonates with you. Definitely look up their websites, because basically the Angelic Reiki Association website has a lot of different teachers on there, and then you click on their picture and then you get to be taken to their own private website, and that's how they kind of set up a space there. I know Compass Rose is developing their own Angelic Reiki Masters Association website. So they're actually setting up a website that will allow you to find people who have been trained by Compass Rose. And I think they're still in the process of that, so I'm not sure where that's at, or if you could find someone maybe, you know, on the East Coast that was trained by Compass Rose. But there's definitely a lot of websites. I would, again, use discernment and try and find someone that you're really comfortable with and that resonates with you. I can't recommend Compass Rose higher. Like, I think they're so great. So I highly recommend checking them out if you could make it. I think it's worthwhile to make it, but if you can't, there are other people that train this material. And Angelic Reiki was channeled by Kevin Core in 2003. And then there's I think it's called the International Angelic Reiki Association, is run by, I'm not actually sure if I should totally look this up. Sorry, guys, I don't have it off the top of my head. But it's run by someone who was there, kind of trained by Kevin Core, who initially channeled this information, channeled this modality. And they have a little bit of differences in how they train. And like I mentioned, it's around more of the mentorship element and the being able to go out and train people after you get your certifications and stuff. So there's some differences there. So if you're interested in that, definitely reach out or check out Compass Rose's website, or you can look at International Angelic Reiki Association's website to see what that path looks like for you if you're interested in one over the other. Yeah, I think there's a lot of nuance around that I'm not super steeped in and have a really great grasp around at all, but it's very interesting. Laura is asking, what's the difference between Reiki and Angelic Reiki? And no worries, don't say sorry. Like, that's a great question, because I honestly didn't know much about Reiki before I took Angelic Reiki. And I can't honestly speak to a lot of the other types of Reiki because I wasn't trained in in any of those. And I haven't done a ton of research on the other types of Reiki, because Angelic Reiki was just something that really resonated with me, and I knew that was the direction I wanted to go in. So I'm not super familiar with all the other types of Reiki, but Reiki, there's various types of Reiki, and Angelic Reiki is just one of those types. So Reiki in general is energy healing, and there's different styles and different means of doing that. But Angelic Reiki works with the angelic kingdom, ascended masters, and galactic beings, calls them in. You don't have to know symbols. You don't have to like draw things or, walk around a table or do really any of that. You're just able to hold the space for the being, or for the person, the client, and ask the appropriate beings from the angelic realm, as well as ascended masters and galactic beings, to step forward and help that individual in whatever way they need. So it's a lot different in that you're less active, I guess, and it's more of holding space and calling in and asking for that work to be done, and helping the client through that process. So that's why it really resonated for me. I can more be present in that I'm focusing in on what's happening for the person and the energy and who's coming in and what's going on, versus having to remember certain symbols at certain times or whatever, like it's more, to me, it's more mindful, and it's more heart-centered almost, in my opinion, just because I'm not having to think too much. I'm being guided and feeling the energy in a much more active way in that sense. But like I said, I've never done any other type of Reiki, so I don't know a lot of those other experiences. If there are others who've done other types of Reiki, you may feel free to chime in and describe how that type of Reiki is for you. Definitely willing to learn from others, because this is, like I said, I'm just sharing my experiences so far. I've just started on this path. So I'm by no means an expert, but I am very enthusiastic, and I just love this so much so far. So yeah, it's just really great. Looking for, I see lots of comments. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tenzin, as well, for sharing the link. Tara is saying, I used to live there years ago, but it's way too far for someone in Missouri, but we'll look into courses maybe in St. Louis, Missouri. Yeah, good idea, Tara. Like, you can probably find some really awesome, excellent teachers in that area. Michelle is asking, is it a fairly big financial investment? Let's see. I think that's really dependent upon the person. The Reiki trainings that I'm participating in, it's $444 right now to participate in the training. And I feel like that's actually a really comparable price to the material that I learned and the experiences that I had. And so that may, like, to me, it doesn't feel like a giant investment. I'm thinking also long term, this is something that I'm learning that I can never unlearn. And it's something that can never be taken away from me. It's always going to be a part of me now. And so in that aspect, I don't feel like it's a very big investment. But I also, like, I'm also dealing with, I've got a master's degree and I invested a lot of money in that. And I don't feel as passionate as I do right now about Reiki as I ever did about my master's degree. So I kind of have some comparisons there for what I'm spending my money on. But the Angelic Reiki, to me, that was like a no-brainer for me. But if you're, if that's a lot of money, like if it's hard to save that up or whatnot, it could be a big investment. But I look at it as I'm going to always have this information. I'm always going to have my healing angel Henry with me now. I'll always have the symbols and the knowledge and the attunement in my body. That's always going to be a part of me now. And I'll be able to help not only just clients, people, that I meet in my work, but I can help my animals that are around me and my family. I can help my family. I can help myself. I can help my husband. And like, this is just like an amazing thing that I can give back to the people that I love and the people that are around me. So I'm willing to spend the $444 for each class, like that, for that ability to move forward in my life. I think it's very, very, very valuable. So that's how I kind of gauge it. It may be a lot of money for some, so definitely check it out and check in with yourself to see if that's something that really resonates with you, and you're willing to invest that money into that experience. Let's see here. Carol is saying, sounds a bit similar to reconnection healing, which I trained in, but I do like the addition of angels and galactics. That's awesome, Carol. I don't know what reconnection healing is, but I'm definitely going to go do some research on that. That sounds really, really cool. Michelle's saying, that's not too bad at all. Yeah, I don't think the amount is bad at all. Laura's saying, awesome, thank you. That sounds really interesting. One of the things that has held me back from progressing into Reiki 2 and 3 because it's rigid, but I love the feeling of the energy passing through me to heal. Yes, Laura. And I feel like Angelic Reiki might not be as rigid if you're not really interested in kind of having I don't know. I just feel like it flows really, really well. So if you're interested, definitely check it out because it's really, really cool. Bonnie is saying, I don't always use the symbols. Depends on each individual and what they need energetically. Definitely. She always calls in her spiritual team, their spiritual team, ascended masters, galactic beings from the highest good, for the highest good of the client. That's awesome, Bonnie. Thanks for sharing that experience because I know you're trained in Reiki as well. I'm not 100% sure on what style you're trained in, but that's really great to know that you're able to still call in all of those beings and that it's not always about the symbols. I think the experiences that I learned about from others, because I, again, have not trained in any other type of Reiki, they were talking a lot about how that was tripping them up and it wasn't as easy for them to connect because they were really focused in on that. So maybe for their experience, Angelic Reiki is better because it allowed them to flow more, but that's really awesome. And Tenzin saying, I think it is pretty affordable compared to some Reiki level 1-2 classes and master class. Awesome. Yeah, I didn't shop around a ton, but both the person that I was looking at before I went to Compass Rose and Compass Rose had the same prices. So I was like, yeah, this is great. And yeah, it was a really good, I feel like it was, it's a really good price to learn something that you're always going to have. So that to me is really exciting. And Amy's saying that that's how she felt too, to Laura, worried about it being a little more too rigid for them to progress to 2 and 3. So interesting. Well, do you guys have any other questions or anything else that you're interested in around Angelic Reiki or my experiences? As you guys can tell, I'm pretty fired up and passionate about this new found modality and a new way for me to connect spiritually to lots of different spiritual beings, as well as to help others. So I'm really, really passionate about it. And yeah, I'm just having such a good time, and I'm learning a lot. And oh, one cool thing in the training, well, two cool things. So in the training was really great is they gave us all these really beautiful crystals. So I got this beautiful amethyst, and this was attuned with me. So it's like when I feel it, it's like it's just like really powerful. I love it so much, and it just feels like really, really great. And I can't imagine having any other little crystal with me to do my Angelic Reiki, because I love this so much. So that was really cool. So when you do the course, the 1 and 2 course with Compass Rose, you get a crystal. And I think that's common for most Angelic Reiki trainings, because I've seen a few others say that they also provide crystals for students. So I love that, and I love crystals, so it's great. And out of the training, there was some really awesome book recommendations that I wanted to share for people who may be interested in the material, interested in the Ascended Masters, and discussing like the rays and a lot of the material that we cover. So I bought some books that they had, and that were super, super cool. So this book, it's called The 7 Sacred Flames, and it's written by Aurelia Louise Jones. And it's a really amazing introduction into Ascended Masters. So they break down all the Ascended Masters. So this is Serapis Bay, which I love Serapis Bay. So it breaks down the master and then all of the characteristics of that Ascended Master, and a lot of channeling or channeled information about the Ascended Master. And I cannot wait to just dig into this. I mean, I've channeled a lot of Ascended Masters, but I'm always learning new things. And it's just been really cool to use this as a kind of this is definitely an introductory book. But if you're interested, it goes over a lot of really great information. And I got this from, let me see, from Mount Shasta Light Publishing. And I'll also share the link to the website where I bought this, because you can't get this one on Amazon. But it came from mslpublishing.com. So I will share that. And I really love this book if you're interested in just getting some new reading material, digging into that kind of material. It's super, super cool. And then there's another book that I bought that they recommended, is The Soul's Perspective on How to Achieve Perfect Radiant Health. It's a compilation by Dr. Joshua David Stone. And I bought this book on Amazon for like $30. And it's a treasure trove of information. If you're interested in any sort of healing work, this is a really good book to check out. So if you want to do some reading, to really determine whether you want to go down the Angelic Reiki path or any sort of Reiki or healing modality, definitely check this out. This is a pretty cool book so far, and I've just been having a really good time just reading and soaking in all of the information that I can. So yeah, with that, what else? Oh my gosh, I have a really cool announcement, actually. So Now that I'm a practitioner, I have some new services available. If you are interested in receiving an angelic Reiki healing from moi, you can go onto my website, which is channelingwithlove.com, and you can book a one-on-one session with me. And I can do that long distance, or if you're actually in my area, I could do it in person, but I know majority of you are all across the country, across the world, so long distance is no biggie. I can definitely do healings in that fashion. And so that's available. But I also have a really exciting group healing scheduled. I will be setting up events in my group, Channeling with Love, as well as Intuitive Angel Messages. And on my business page, I'm going to be hosting a group healing on April 5th. 2020 that's a Sunday at like 11 a.m. and it's going to be $25 per person, that's pretty awesome. But it's going to be held in a private Facebook group. So once you sign up and pay for the healing, I'll add you to a private Facebook group. And on the day, I will ask for you to all give your permission for the healing. And then I'll be hosting the healing live on that Facebook group. And it's going to be super, super awesome. And I cannot wait to do this. I've experienced a few different group healings before, and each time they blew me away. They were so amazing. And really, that's the whole reason why I wanted to do Reiki, is to help as many people as possible. So I cannot wait to do a group healing for y'all. And that's going to be coming up April 5th. So definitely check those events out. I have the service set up on my website, channelingwithlove.com. If you want to sign up for that group healing already, you can definitely do so. And that was my exciting announcement that I had in the little event description in Channeling with Love. And I cannot wait to continue, doing this first group healing and being able to work with people one-on-one, and then doing more group healings. And I am thinking about if there is interest of setting up a way to have private group healings. Say you and your family all want to have a group healing together. I am looking at how can I facilitate that, either long distance or in person, for families or friends. Maybe you have a bunch of girlfriends that are really interested, and it would be at a discounted price for groups. So it wouldn't be the full price for like a one-on-one healing. So I'm toying with that. If you guys are interested in something like that, definitely let me know. And I am really flexible, so I'm always open to recommendations. And with that, I think I'm gonna let you guys go. I don't see any other questions or anything. Oh, Amy, I do see a question. Sorry, before I run off. Carol is saying, so you train level 1 and 2 and then later further? Yes. So actually not this weekend, the 29th and March 1st, but the next weekend, March 6th, 7th, and 8th, I will be taking the 3-4. So I will then be considered a master angelic Reiki healer. But I don't think at that point I'll be doing trainings or anything, but I will be having some more skills and able to do different things. So I'm excited with that, and I'm really excited that I could get into the series schedule, I guess, so I could really get that information and get it going, and then, jump in and just hang out and practice and help as many people as I can. So that's something I was really, really excited about. Amy has another question. Do you think it was just as effective as an online class? Would be just as effective as an online class, or do you feel like it's worth doing the training in person? Amy, I actually think that there's only in-person angelic Reiki trainings at this time. I haven't done a ton of research, but I think you have to get attuned in person instead of doing it online. I know there's other trainings that you can have done online, and I personally am totally a fan of online classes. I mean, I've hosted several online classes. I help with mediumship classes and stuff, but I feel like this specific modality, like, I feel like being in person, you kind of need to be there in person. It's really, really a powerful, awesome experience. And I can't really wrap my head around how that would work online. If down the road there's a way to do that, that might be something that I explore, but I don't think that it's there yet. Totally not sure. And actually, we'll do some research to follow up on that, and so I can give you guys more information if you need it. But I highly recommend the in-person training. Polly's saying, I love the idea of a family and friend group healing. Awesome. Thank you, Polly, for the feedback. I'll explore how to get that set up and have that available if people are interested in that. Yay, awesome, Eileen. So you're thinking of doing Angelic Reiki. That's something you want to do, and you want to join the group healing. Yay, I'm super excited. Oh, awesome, Amy. I'm happy. She's saying, cool, that's awesome. I'm definitely interested in a group healing session. Awesome. I'm so excited for it. This is going to be really great. Thank you all so much for your questions. Those were some awesome questions. And thank you for listening to me and just gush about how amazing my experience was, and how, you know, I really, really enjoy Angelic Reiki. And thank you to everyone who shared Compass Rose's website. I highly recommend you guys go check them out. They're really, really awesome. And I will also include links to the books that I recommended if you wanted to dig in and do some reading about information that's related to Angelic Reiki. And yeah, thank you guys so much. Have a great evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you're at in the world. Sending you lots of love and light, and talk to you later. Bye.